range. Now this is the rating thing that she is so proud about. It's like the Whiplash Report.
The Whiplash Report. And it's only taken into account the streaming originals. It's not including Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones is like kind of a prequel to Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, because it's a prequel to Game of Thrones. It's on HBO Max. This is only streaming original, so it's not including a lot of other things.
And it's
doing better than Andor. So
it's also only for the week of September 19th to the September 25th. But someone who is actually here right now might be able to speak better to this.
I don't know if he'll be able to or not, because his estrogen level is off the charts. So
I mean,
Valiant. Hi, Valiant
Renegade.
Here's Valliant Renegade.
Oh Lord. Well, as promised, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh wait, you know what? I just realized I don't think this connected to my headphones. Bear with me 1 minute. How terribly unprofessional of me.
Oh,
he did it, Valiant.
I love that he came in to explain this to us. We're gonna get mansplained.
I like mansplained. I'm a fan of it.
It's like,
are y'all getting or no?
We're waiting for you.
We're waiting for you, sir or ma'am.
Are you getting an echo from me or not?
No,
you're
echo.
good. No, you're good.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I'm sorry. So here's the thing, and I will say that I have come in here tonight prepared to be on Toxic Femmes, as promised, in a very rare appearance of the alternate ego, as created by my wonderful, lovely daughters, my teenage daughters, who I love dearly, but they apparently hate their father. So let's get into this for Toxic Femmes.
Yes.
Okay. So
God!
I love it. So what's your name? Is it Virgin Renegade or?
Yeah, it's well, traditionally it's been Valerie Renegade, and of course,
Valerie. Okay.
You have to accept this as I present it here, because otherwise you're a phobe.
I like the glitter tonight on the eyes.
Yeah,
I like that.
It matches the hair and the lip. It's very monochromatic. I'm loving it.
It's beautiful.
So my 15-year-old, who I won't name just for security reasons, I said, Dad's got to do the joke stuff again. She's like, oh God, yes. Right. She knew that the pink wig was coming out this time. We have several. And just for those of you that don't know, no, I don't keep a house full of fake boobs and wigs around for the kick.
Sure.
Those of you that don't know or that haven't heard the story, my wonderful wife is a professional music teacher, vocal instructor. We have a music school and a theater school. So we have a huge library and of just tons of costumes. So occasionally I will raid it to do the joke stuff like this. So here we are. And I have gotten made up. And of course, if all of you believe that, I appreciate it. It is true, but I can see how that would be otherwise unfathomable at this point.
You are looking
and a certain favorite co-host of mine on Sundays is probably watching right now, as I told him to. So Pro, enjoy this, and I'm sure I will hear about this next Sunday. Thank you, WDW Pro. So let's talk about the Whip Media thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
That is, you guys know I focus on math and finance. I've been in the finance industry for 20 years. So all I care about from Hollywood is what do the numbers say? What do the financial reports, the cash flows? Where's the reality of it? Because that gives us a guideline in terms of where is Hollywood actually going, right? They can tell us all kind of BS that they want, but it's follow the money. So the follow the money adage in this case is if I look at something like Whip Media TV, I ask, okay, where did this out of the blue? There it is. Of course, Drunk is here. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, brother. Love you too. Come on the show one time, buddy. I thought, yeah, I know, Jay. It's good to see you. This is what my daughters do to me, dude. See, when you have kids, you get to look forward to this. Especially,
I love your daughters.
Your daughters are amazing.
They are amazing. They are amazing women.
As much as I love hanging out with Renegade Jr., my 11-year-old son, my daughters, this is the opposite side. This is like Renegade Jr. and I go fishing. We go hunting. My daughters like to do this. So
wait. Are you telling me that like the internet is wrong? You're not an
slightly, Steph.
incel?
No,
Wait,
we're not.
what?
No way.
Let's not jump to conclusions right away now.
How do you
Steph.
women deal with this hair? This is driving me nuts.
That's why we're
Why do you
always
think we're
touching
always
it. That's
touching
why
our
we're always
I
touching
know.
it.
I get it now.
I
I tell my wife and I have been together for like 24 years since high school, and it's like I was like, hey, she's always doing this. I'm like, I don't get this, and now I wear these wigs. Screw you, Tom. No, I'm like, now I finally get it, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
no,
why we're
let's
always
go back to
touching it.
this. So Nielsen to me is still the end all be all. For the last year and a half, 2 years or so, since streaming has become far more prevalent in the world in terms of our viewership as an audience, you had a Samba TV out there that would deliver some numbers. And in case anybody hasn't noticed, and I brought this up Sunday in the live stream, Samba TV, did you notice that Samba TV, for the first time in forever since I can remember, Samba TV has not delivered any numbers on the latest Disney Star Wars show, Andor.
I've seen something about that.
I've talked about this, and I said, now, you have to understand that Samba also kind of got in bed with Disney a few months ago.
Oh.
Samba TV is more of a marketing arm for streaming. They do data collection to help streaming companies better understand their advertising core to deliver more effective and more fiscally efficient advertising dollars. So they put out streaming numbers as an adjunct to that. But I thought it was kind of funny that Andor has now been out for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Samba has not posted anything on there for Andor.
How fast are they normally on with something that they want the numbers shown for? Are they really quick about getting them up there, or is this,
Samba TV, usually their most common metric is what's called L+3 or L+4, which means launch date plus 3 days or 72 hours, or launch date plus 4 days or 96 hours. And I use the hours as a metric because streaming services will release, some of them will release a new show at midnight, some at 2 a.m. Pacific, some at this, some at that. So it's a variant. So Samba usually does L+3, L+4, L+5 in very rare instances. But in the last couple of weeks, Samba has put out jack diddly squat for anything. And it was right before Andor came out. I'm doing the hair thing again. So this is why Nielsen, and I will tell everybody out there and you ladies out there, as you do your videos, and y'all do some amazing videos. Steph, Mandy, Melanie, Nina, y'all all do great stuff. I all watch your channels.
Thank you.
And no, y'all do great stuff. So as you go forward from the business side of things, just understand that, like I said, follow the money, look to that into the business side of things, like we cover on my channel. But understand that, Nielsen is probably your greatest metric of any type of measurement when it comes to ratings, to viewership, and things like this. Now, Nielsen measures streaming in minutes watched. A lot of us are used to Nielsen's traditional historical measurements for decades now in terms of viewership, right? We get the Nielsen overnights.
right.
So, think of As, which, by the way, this pink wig is inspired by Heel versus Babyface.
Shout out to
Love it.
Ed.
Oh, because of
Shout
that
out to Az.
picture.
Exactly, because Az wore the pink wig. So if y'all think this is a first and you don't like this, you can blame that sumbitch for being on first. So I'm
His
here
influence.
now. It's Az.
Now yeah, that's an insult that you can definitely blame right there.
So from that, and we're used to Nielsen overnight. So when bringing up Az, when Az would watch Batwoman, right? Remember when Az was doing? I honestly, I don't know how the hell Az sat through 3 seasons of that.
He's
dumpster
a
fire.
big fan. He was fanboying out for it.
You said that, Mandy. I didn't. I'll leave it there. No, but God bless that man. He's a saint for putting up with that bullshit. But what would Az bring up when the new episodes? He'd bring up the Nielsen numbers, right? We got Nielsen overnight. So when Batwoman came out on a Sunday, by Monday morning, when Az was doing his videos, he had the Nielsen overnight numbers for that. We don't get that now with streaming, because streaming is a completely different mathematical algorithm and metric. So what you have to understand with that is that Nielsen is capturing that data far more rapidly than they're reporting it. So, for example, we're just now seeing 1 month after Rings of Power premiered, we're just now getting the initial Nielsen numbers made public in their weekly reports. Samba usually comes out much faster. So Whip Media TV, to get to this point, okay, Whip Media TV, which you have to understand, Nielsen is kind of like the gold standard of ratings out there. Samba TV for streaming, decent, but not great, but it's there. And Samba TV is well watched in terms of measuring one Samba measurement against another. So even though their measurements may not be the entirety of a show's viewership, they are useful in terms of Samba measured 4.8 million people watching the premiere of House of the Dragon. And a couple of weeks later, the same Samba algorithm measured in its own metric system 1.8 million watching the premiere of The Rings of Power. So even though the numbers may not be finite, they are useful in terms of comparing within their own system one to the other. This is how we know that House of the Dragon was a much bigger show.
Yeah.
Now,
But in terms of Whip Media, this is an app that people have to download to participate in.
Yeah.
This is something that, quite
Oh, wow.
frankly, this is like Boozy, right? This is a bot app.
but
right?
That could
Valliant,
easily be manipulated then.
Exactly.
Very
That's
easily.
it. It's something that can be very easily manipulated.
but
So
Valliant,
Jameela
Titania
Jamil-
is telling us to fuck off.
I
So-
know. And she's telling us to fuck
Wow.
off based on a completely candy ass rating system.
Wow.
That's it. That's the truth of it. It is more candy ass than the getup that I am wearing right now.
I mean, well, okay, first of all, I was trying to take you seriously throughout your entire speech and I couldn't do it.
It's
So I was
hard,
like,
isn't it?
why are you
Yeah.
fucking-
Something's hard. I can tell you right now.
Oh, hell,
Jesus.
damn. And also, again, I'm just distracted. I'm so distracted. But you know
I'm
what?
sure
No
you're
one-
so distracted. I'm sitting here looking like this.
no one can deny anything Valiant said, because if you do, you're an istanophobe and fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
And,
everything
you know,
you said was
this
right,
is-
even though I don't know what the hell you're
this
talking
is-
about.
This is one of the things I've said before, and I don't want to take up the whole show. I'm going to leave y'all with this because this is something I would love y'all ladies to discuss. And this is the problem. This is a thing I've been bringing up kind of on this in Jameela Jamil, which I will say, look, as a guy, she's hot.
yeah.
Jameela Jamil,
Yeah,
she's beautiful.
Yeah.
They all
And,
are.
I mean,
They all
I
are.
yeah.
agree.
The first time I saw Jameela Jamil, I think she was doing a show on True TV a couple of years ago. She wound up with the guys on Impractical Jokers, who I've been watching since their first
I love
season.
that show.
Oh, they're freaking awesome.
They're so funny.
Jameela Jamil wound up there. She was doing a game show on there, which was hilarious. She was on The Good Place.
Yeah, that's where I
for
know her
years.
from. Yeah.
Well, that was the second place I saw her because Mrs. Renegade loved that show, and she kind of got me into it with Ted Danson. And it's a great show. You know, Kristen Bell, great
It
cast,
was a
great
good show, and then it kind of went downhill. Like I was like, I don't know what's happening to this show. It just
It did, but it's like I don't do Twitter that much except for my channel. But like I didn't follow because I don't like following Hollywood celebrities because usually that's when your heart gets shattered to pieces
Yeah.
because you find out all
Yeah.
these people are a bunch of, pardon my French, fucking idiots.
Never meet your
Um,
heroes.
you're not wrong.
And, yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's depressing to see this, but she is carrying the line. And this is the discussion I would like you ladies to have because we have seen this too many times recently now where all these folks out there, they have become angry. And I think that's the big thing to understand. These people out there in Hollywood are angry. They are pissed off. And the only thing they know right now is audience shaming.
Yeah.
We're making what we want. We are making these products inside of a bubble to appease ourselves in our own stands, right?
Yeah.
And when the rest of the country, you know, actual real America out there, outside of Los Angeles and New York and San Francisco, for example, reacts to this and goes, this sucks.
Yeah.
They don't understand that because they're so up their own butts. And I mean, it's evident when you look at, especially, and this is the thing that they're most nervous about, they can hide a lot of stuff on streaming now. Kathleen Kennedy basically admitted this in a Variety piece a few months ago, where she said a lot of things will go to Disney Plus because there's less scrutiny there.
Right.
Because when you go to theater or traditional TV, things like Nielsen overnights pick it up. Things like box office reports pick it up. You go on a streaming service that's proprietary, where the measurement systems are far more vague and less refined. You don't see the failures. They can hide failures there, right?
How stupid you got to be to admit that?
Well, it's Kathy Kennedy.
Well, I mean, but holy crap, she's
bruh. Yeah. So I would discuss here the audience shaming aspect is the problem, and I think it's starting to turn. And I think we saw, as Tom is very loving of saying, we're getting close to the final and I agree with him on that.
Yeah.
And I think we saw another piece of the final this weekend with Bros.
Oh my God, that we were going to talk about that, Valliant.
Well, I figured you might.
I'm sorry, I dead named you. What was your name again?
I'm sorry, I was offended. My name is Leah Thomas. I won a swimming championship.
Wow.
So sorry.
And so fuck y'all. No, but I mean, seriously, I would love to hear y'all discuss, and I'm going to hop off after this because, like I said, this was a joke. I didn't want to take up the whole show with this, but I want to give y'all something to discuss. The audience shaming aspect, I think this is on the verge of collapse, and that I don't mean it's going to happen next week or 2 weeks from now. Everything in Hollywood is a very slow-moving, slow-digested animal, right?
Right.
Anything that happens, the things we are seeing now in Hollywood are things that were greenlit and put into motion 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
So yes, Valerie Renegade, that's right. Joe B's got it. But and sometimes known as bitch pudding.
Sometimes.
But
sounds real.
If we have bitch pudding, if we have any Robot Chicken fans out there, you know exactly.
I'm a fan of bitch pudding.
Bitch pudding. So, but talk about that. The Hollywood shaming thing, I think that's coming to a close. I think we're seeing too much of this now.
Yeah.
I've got a video coming out tomorrow that's something we talked about yesterday in the live stream. I think Disney, it's kind of funny, something Variety noticed regarding a recent box office end of the year report. They talked about what can bail the box office out between now and the end of the year. And they talked about Black Adam. They talked about Wakanda Forever. They talked about Avatar 2. Strangely, and I don't use that word lightly, a $200 million Walt Disney animated feature, as they usually release around Thanksgiving, was missing from that article.
Oh. Which one was that?
Video tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Giving that plug. All right.
It's Strange World. Strange World was the video coming out in November, and it was conspicuously absent. Exactly. Nobody knows what it is.
Never heard of it.
I don't know.
It was conspicuously absent from the report. A $200 million Walt Disney animated feature was absent from Variety's executive VIP report, behind a $40 a month paywall report.
That's crazy.
It was absent from it in terms of what's going to happen between now and the end of the year at the box office. And we know what Disney has done with their animated features over the last couple of years. They pulled them all. What happened to Lightyear when they went woke? An audience shamed with Lightyear.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I was going to say thanks for mansplaining everything to us, but I can't say that because you're a woman.
No.
Right now.
You're a woman. You came in as Valerie.
You're Valerie. So this is not a mansplain. This has been amazing. This has been an amazing explanation of everything that you just said. So thank you so much, Valerie. You're always welcome on the show.
I don't want to mansplain. Look, here's the thing. This is my attitude. I've made so many great friends since I've been on YouTube for this last year. I mean, like Nina, Mandy, Steph, Melanie now too. You're in the mix, I guess.
Thank you.
And my thing is that I kind of want to help all my friends and the creators out there. It's not an issue of, and all joking aside, and I know Nina's joking, but I mean the mansplaining aspect, the womansplaining, whatever the hell you want to take it as.
I was
Look, I know you were. I come from the financial world. I've spent 20 years as a financial planner, as an investment advisor. So all I do is look at numbers and money every day of my life.
That's what I was laughing at earlier.
Don't you want me to be your financial advisor?
Did you see the comment?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Transplaining. Oh, sweet. Yeah. So my thing is, I felt like this was kind of a void on YouTube, and so many people are doing great commentary, like everybody on this panel, like Midnight's Edge, everybody out there, doing great commentary on the cultural side, the pop cultural side. And I'm trying to get everybody to start taking a little bit more of a focused eye on the money side, because that is the leading indicator out there every single time. And that's what we do. Like, we've got earnings season that is imminent.
And that's that's why it was so shocking, right? Because she came out and she said certain things, like she doesn't care about a season 2, you know, which is like, I mean, why would you say such a thing if you care about that show? Like, if you really like that show, wouldn't you want to be making money? Wouldn't you want your coworkers to be making money? Wouldn't you want the studios to be making money? When you make money, when you have a successful show, everyone's gonna be happy. In this case, I feel like the reason I feel like she did this is because the numbers are a lot lower than they all want to admit. And maybe they have some insider knowledge that tells them that. And so she's trying to hype it up. Like, this is the last episode's coming up.
I actually don't think so. I think that she is being fed by, you know, her handlers that you're on a great show. Because I really don't think that she thinks, or she knows
all these people at this level, Steph, they've got PR people.
Yeah.
That they're telling them what to do, what to say. But here's the thing. When we look at the Nielsen numbers for She-Hulk, it is, and this is the Hollywood trades have called this out. This is not Valliant Renegade or Valerie Renegade saying this. The Hollywood trades have called this out, right? Saying that, frankly, She-Hulk is one of the worst, if not the worst performing Marvel show to this point.
Wow.
For Disney Plus. And what you have to remember, people keep looking back, and I'll leave you with this as a point of discussion as well. People keep looking back and saying, well, you know, this is, you know, you've got this show that did this show did that. They're all pretty much in line. Everybody seems to forget, as they compare these shows back to WandaVision, for example, which is now almost 2 years old. In terms of U.S. ratings, Nielsen, Samba TV measurements, and all this, please understand that when WandaVision debuted, Disney Plus in North America, U.S., and Canada had 20 to 25 million fewer subscribers than they do now.
Wow.
Wow.
So when you tell me that your new Marvel show is performing on par or 15% better than WandaVision, and I take that metrically into account as a financial analyst against your growth in subscribers in the same demographic area, I'm calling your ass out because something's wrong. So don't give me your bullshit. Math wins, numbers wins. Don't fuck with the finance.
Yeah. Except numbers are racist, and so is math. So
numbers are totally racist.
That's
completely, totally racist.
So over this.
And I'm sorry, my phone went off just for context. That's actually Fat Steven calling me.
Fat Steven, what are you doing?
Fat Steven, he's working on some thumbnails and some video stuff for me tomorrow. So,
I love that dude. If you're watching, hello, Fat Steven.
Love you, Fat Steven.
I hope he's here, and y'all subscribe to Fat Steven as well.
Yes, Fat Steven's amazing. And so are you, Valeria, Valerian.
I'll take. You know what? I might change it to. I might change it to Valerian Renegade. I'm enjoying.
I like Valerian Renegade.
I hope I didn't give you PTSD.
I like Vagina Renegade better.
Oh, that's what I said at first. I said, "Are you Vagina Renegade?"
It's all pink upstairs and inside.
Oh my God!
Dang. My goodness.
And with that, Mandy is dead. Mission accomplished. And thank you all. Have a good night.
Bye, Valliant.
Take care. Good to meet you, Melanie. It was nice to finally meet you. Take care.
You. Have a good night.
All right.
Melanie's like, great meeting you. I don't know who you are, but fuck.
I like him with the pink hair.
I know, he's so
cute. I like the pink.